Lovely ladies and gents, no, Wendy is not letting me cook. There you can see it. We are seasoning, actually preparing to season Wendy's new Dutch oven. And they come with wax on them. And so we are re-seasoning, or we're getting ready to season it. Alright, we'll check back with you at the next step. It's 350 degrees until the smoke stops. Alright, I pulled it out because it stopped smoking. And this is what we got. Now what we'll do with this, I thought I was going to touch it, that's hot. We got to let it cool down so we can handle it. And then we will take and rub it down with olive oil, virgin olive oil, while it's still warm. We want it warm but not hot. And then we'll bake it again even hotter. Okay, we'll show you what's going on next. Go ahead, and this is after the olive oil was applied and cooked off. It's a nice copper color, actually, a dark copper color. Try to get the light in there. And it's cooked in. We could do that 2 more times and it would turn it a lot more black, which it eventually will, but the smoke in the house is getting really, really hard to deal with. So, that is seasoning the kettle. Woohoo! Hey, T-Hand141 here, and Wendy Sue doing the video. We are canning pumpkin because we had a bunch of pumpkins and we had a bunch of pumpkins given to us, and I got to start thinking video wise. It's funny because I haven't we missed some steps. We cut the pumpkins in half, peeled them, and took all the guts out. Those will go to the chickens over a period of time. And then what we cubed, well, actually Wendy cubed. Anyone who knows me knows that when I say we, I mean Wendy usually. Cubed them up, boiled them, I believe, Wendy, right? Okay, we boiled them till they got soft, and now I'm mashing. I got my masher. We're mashing them, and then we'll go on to the next step. Which is what, Wendy?
Putting them in jars and canning them. Putting
them in jars, and we're going to pressure can them, or?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to pressure can them. And this will be good for pumpkin pie, pumpkin bread.
Can we just use as squash?
It can just be eaten as squash. This really does resemble yellow squash. Alright, I'll be back in a second. We mashed it up and just got done straining it, okay? You know, we strained it out really good. Now we're back over here on the stove. See, not a whole, that's pretty solid stuff there. Now we're just going to can it up. Put it in cans, leaving, what, 1-inch headspace?
Yep.
That's a basic rule of thumb, is 1-inch headspace. The pumpkin, we have 6.5, and what we're going to do is we're going to just cook up this pumpkin tonight the same way you would squash, and throw some butter and salt and pepper on it, and it will be awesome. Okay, we've cleaned off the rims. We're now going to put the lids on them and the screws and begin the canning process for them. Okay, our pressure canner, and we just spread them out like this. We have 3 quarts or 6 pints of water in there. You don't need to, it's not like a hot water bath. Now we're going to line. I'm by no means a professional at this. Wendy, come take this with you. I'm going to give Wendy the camera so I can actually move. Let's just check. Okay, that is in there good. Okay. Line up the arrows tight. Turn on the power. Now, once we start seeing steam come out of this hole, which I've already confirmed that it is open and clear, we're going to put 10 pounds of pressure on it. We're going to let the steam come out freely for 10 minutes. Then we're going to put 10 pounds of pressure on it for 90 minutes. And it'll start, and then that's when the time starts, is when it starts going, doing that thing. Okay, now it's a waiting game. Go ahead. This morning I peeled a bunch of apples, and we're gonna probably do up some apple pie or apple bread or something like that. But we peeled and cored them up, and we have the peels and cores in here. We have 8 cups of water with the peels and cores from 6 to 8 apples, and 8 cups of water, and 4 tablespoons of honey in here, and it's going to sit here in for 2 weeks, and then we will move on to the next step to make apple cider vinegar, and that is basically getting solids out of it in 2 weeks, and then we let it sit for another 4 or 5 weeks. And we're gonna, now this is a recipe that did not have any mother in it, any of the stuff from old apple cider, but we're gonna try it anyway, because that's what we do. We try things, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, well, that's okay too. We'll learn from that. I believe it was one of the really smart people in the world that said you learn more from your mistakes than you do from your successes. If you try something, if you fail 5,000 times, you haven't failed. You just learned 5,000 different ways not to do it. So, all right.